Sadness. I clicked on
Very
the wrong
well.
button. Hello and welcome everyone. As my little doohickey takes a bit of time to. It's very slow nowadays. It does come on. I have noticed it, but. Hello and welcome to the Dumbass Class with me, the Dyslexic Gamer, as we carry on our playthrough of Warhammer Fantasy's tabletop RPG, The City of Nuln, where in the last episode, as a reminder, our group of Warband members had had a little chat with Bane, the Lord Wizard in Nuln, um, gaining a bit of insight and passing on some teachings to our new semi-mage in the party.
This?
Yes. Oh, now it's working.
It happened again.
Did I stop for you guys? It's okay. It's only the recap. Nothing important was lost. So after one of our party members got some knowledge on finger wiggling, the rest of the group did something. They copied a map, and after copying a map of the sewers,
And I copied it well.
did indeed after fucking up the first one, or Casper fucking it up. One of you did.
I mean, I had a success then. Casper barely succeeded. And then I just went,
First time, I fucked it
this
up.
can do better.
But
I fucked it up the first time, and then Waldo just fucking poured ink all over it the second time.
our group decided that it would be a good idea to move on and to go and find this underground black market. So they took their young child hireling, kidnapped victim, who is Mario Jenkins, to lead them to said place. And after being led to a very familiar area indeed, but just taken to a different corner of it. Yes, they were taken into the shady town, shantytown, to the asylum, an old, abandoned, semi-abandoned, insane asylum, which has now been taken over by a group and leading down into the basement of the asylum. A vast chamber opened up, and they found themselves in a very odd bazaar filled with people, all hooded, cloaked, bandaged, all of them surprisingly enough looking very much like Casper does when he's out in the daylight, when not in his box, of course. It was only after actually venturing into said black market that they actually realised and noticed that, hey, this smelly armpit of a location is actually filled with mutants. And yes, the place is filled with mutants, vagabonds, ruffians, and all different types of dregs of society. But the sound of combat drew our party in as, well, it's a trunk then, not a box. As they were enticed by the cheering, glaring sounds of combat. And they were heading towards the pit. And this is where our session starts off again, as you are all surrounded by mutants trying to sell you weird objects, trash, detritus, junk. But there are a few gems mixed sparsely around. So you head off to... I can't remember if I did a map for this or not. I don't think I did.
Did a really small, quick drawing of it at the bottom of the screen.
Ah, yes, I did. I did indeed. So yes, when we left off, you guys were just coming round a corner after walking down one side. In fact, I will use a ruler.
This
Came
was
in
the
through there,
pit.
you went down there, and you're coming up towards the pit.
No, this was the place where I believe it was Livia detected the weird spiky green essence. It was like
Somewhere at the end of the
here.
room.
It was here that was the pit or something, or like here. To around this area. This was a stall or something.
Yeah. I can't quite remember how I drew this map now, and looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck was I? What was my meaning behind this? I know it was a vast
think of it-
underground chamber with lots of storerooms off the side, much like a military
Yeah.
bunker was built back in the day to store black powder and shot and things like that. So
I think this was the main door of the building.
no,
and
that
over
was
here where the
no,
bud
that
is,
that was the main door. That's where you came in. I remember that much because you came in
Oh.
on the corner, and then you were
Yeah.
assaulted by vendors selling shit. So yeah, for now we're gonna say that the circle is the pit because it's a circle, and we'll move the arrows somewhere else. So yeah, you head off after walking down one side, looking through the detritus and the mutants. You head off to the pit. There is almost like a oh fuck, what's the word? Oh, I had it. What's the Greek? An amphitheater. There's almost an amphitheater like area, but dug into the ground. So it goes down in like a stepped formation in a half circle. The back half of this amphitheater seems to be a staging area, and you can see that there are two doors on the opposite side of the semicircle, of the half circle, that are cage doors. So they're wrought iron. They look terrible. They look like they are very, very old, rusty, and more there for show. I mean, everything down here is dingy and gross, but yes, you can just make out the amphitheater-like pit. As you, oh, did I really draw it like that? You could just, as you try and make your way over there, there's quite a crowd gathered. Sweaty, foul-mouthed, dirty beings who are basically gambling. There doesn't appear to be like a bookies here. As you're approaching, you can just see individuals putting their hand up with a number of digits showing. And as they look round, they seem to see others who are holding up the same number of digits and go over and start talking, and the bet is placed. How busy is it down here? It's not too busy, actually. It's not. There's enough room for you guys to get to the edge of the pit, and you can all look down, looking over at the people's heads, down into the performance area of the pit. It does seem to be at least 2 people tall, the pit walls. Just probably a little bit taller to stop fighters or meat from escaping. And at the moment, there is a pit fighter fighting 2 wolves.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Aurelia and ask, alright, what are we doing here?
You really will whisper under her breath, "Oh, please do those. That's easy." Then she'll look at Casper. "You're looking for monsters, my dear friend. Monsters, remember?"
What are
Alright.
we going to do with a monster? Once we have one?
I'm looking for evidence. Remember? We're looking for, you know what? If we find any of those here, that means we can probably find guns here.
No. So there's no. So you guys are looking for warpstone. Oh, just anything with warpstone in down here. You kind of have the location, but you've headed towards the pit fight because there's a fight going on. It seems like entertainment. But so far you haven't found any items with any warpstone on.
So, didn't Livia see a
Sensed.
warp signature?
She's sensed.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
sense something
And it
in this
is-
area too?
Yeah, it is near the pit, where the pit fight is. But last time, for some reason, you were like, "Oh, maybe they've got monsters at the pit." I seem to remember last time you were going on about that they might have monsters at the pit. Let's go have a look.
Look, we're very easily sidetracked.
Very.
I mean, we did
Right,
have a
I still go to the
whole...
brothel.
But yeah, we've seen enough. Back to the brothel. We'll come back in a couple of episodes' time.
I'll have to buy another crate soon, won't I?
So yeah, you can see that there's apparently a pit fighter fighting two wolves at the moment, and people betting on them.
Can I take a look who's winning?
If you give it like 10 minutes, you'll probably see who's winning. Like at the moment, the pit fighter's holding his ground. He has a trident and a net. And the two wolves are... One of them is posturing, whilst the other one's posturing but moving around, trying to seemingly flank him.
I'd rather we'll go to the betting booth and she'll bet 5 silver shillings on the wolves.
So there's... Yeah, you put your hand up with digits showing, and that someone else who's got the same digits showing will come over and agree to bet with you. So you can only ever get your money back. You can only ever double your money. There's no percentages or anything like that.
I feel like there's a catch somewhere.
No, it's actually the same betting system that they use in Thailand for kickboxing. Because gambling is illegal in Thailand, but a wager between two people is not technically seen as gambling.
Oh, cool.
I'll raise 5 fingers then, and I'm gonna see if there's anyone also betting 5 silver.
Okay, let me just give a little roll here. Yeah, so not long after you put your hand up, there are a few people who've got 5 digits showing, but as they look over at you and your group, they kind of look round and find someone else. But an individual who is essentially in a complete floor-length cloak over the head, very Sith-like, it's almost like he's got a ring of some sort of wood within his hood to make it much more open and circular. You can't see his face, but you just see him come over and give you a small bow, and he produces 5 silver.
I'll return the bow and I'll present 5 silver. And I'll say, whoa.
He bows and gives a small nod after. And he puts his money back in his hands, in his cloak, and turns and watches the fight.
I'll do the same.
So, after 10 minutes, let me give...
Can I wander off real quick and just find someone that could tell me that what exactly the pit fighter gets out of this? Or is he a slave, or what is the whole situation?
Sure. Sure, you can do that. Roll me gossip with a -30. and we can go through that. So, the first wolf.
Quick question: would I get a little bit of a bonus because I am dressed like them?
Yeah, I'll give you a plus 10 for that, so knocking it down to a minus 20.
And those streetwise come into effect?
Because you kind of look like them, I will
that could be
actually
the
give it.
that could be the plus down.
I will give it to you because you look like them. Oh, but will you be talking like them? It's not the hive. They're not going to be talking that different. Okay, yeah, no. You streetwise will work because you look like they think they're dealing with one of their own kind. For the rest of you smooth skins, unfortunately not.
All right, so it's just a minus 20.
No, minus 10.
Oh, okay, sweet.
How fucking ugly does Casper look?
They're all D10.
Well, he is bandaged up.
He's changing
and,
into
you know,
VTM Nosferatu.
I'm wrapped up tighter than I've been known.
I kind of take it
when the
that
sailors come home.
that Casper is kind of looking like a
mummy?
a bit like a mummy, yeah. But I was going more with what's the disease where things start falling off? A leper.
Leper?
Yeah.
Leper.
Oh god.
So as
Just pull off your own arm.
as the pit fight goes on, Casper, you make your way through the crowd, and you're looking for people who are a bit better off, a bit more knowledgeable, not just there to watch and maybe get some money. And after asking a few people who you think might be the guys you're looking for, you get pointed in the right direction. And you meet one of the pit masters. But the first wolf that was posturing goes in with a charge attack and hits. The pit fighter parries. The second wolf that was coming in on his flank comes in and misses. The pit fighter misses as well. So the fight goes on. As you see this, Casper, you can see that one of the men that you've just been introduced to is keeping his eyes on the pit fighter, and when he misses, it's not so much of a look of disappointment that, you know, you might lose some money. It's like a look of, I'm going to fucking teach you, you little cunt. Get fucking good. Stab him. Stab it. It's someone who is very, very much invested heavily in this.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you want? What can I do for you?
Yeah. I'm trying to put on like a fucking voice, but yeah. I was just wondering, what exactly does a pit fighter get out of these fights? If you don't mind me asking. You know, maybe a little bit of interest.
It depends. That one's mine. I bought him, I feed him, I train him. So whatever the winnings are at the end, I get. And he gets treated nicely, you know. But you can enter in as a one-off or as a solo fighter, you know, not attached to anyone. They're not picky who'll fight in the pits. But it's all a roll of the dice what you're fighting here. You know, there's no favoritisms. Every time there's a new challenger, they go into the crowd, they get them to roll the dice. If the person has their own dice, then they're not allowed to use them. But rules are rules. But yeah, you roll the dice, and then what the dice say is what the pit fighter will go up against. You see, so there's no way the champion this week could be dinner next. You see.
I like these odds. All right then.
As your
Thanks,
chat
mate.
goes on, the first wolf comes in again, striking at the pit fighter. The pit fighter going to parry, this time being unable to. The wolf biting down hard onto his arm holding the net. The second wolf comes in, but fortunately the pit fighter, the wolf misses the pit fighter, but the pit fighter also misses as he tries to attack the wolf that came in from the side. So, Casper, was that all you wanted to know from the pitmaster?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So, as you start walking back, you hear the crowd roar as the first wolf misses. Oh, good point. Yeah, if he doesn't have to parry. So the first wolf misses, but the cheer is not for the first wolf, but the second, as it comes in a blind spot, grabbing hold of his waist and ripping flesh from bone. He comes in and tries to parry the attack, but just can't. It's in an area that his trident just cannot reach, and his attack as well fails. And as Casper gets back, the crowd roars again as the first wolf, leaps up at the pit fighter. He manages to just get his trident in the way to push the wolf back. But the second wolf, that's already ripped a chunk out of his side, comes in again, striking the pit fighter and bringing him down. You see the pit fighter cry out as the wolf bites down into his calf, ripping a chunk of flesh and leather out. He falls to the ground and the wolves devour him. The pitmaster that Casper was just talking to, he can see is just shouting and swearing and throwing cups and bottles into the pit. But the pit manager doesn't seem to stop the fight. He seems to think that the crowd wants blood this time. The man in the odd cloak turns to Aurelia, bows and holds out his hand. As Aurelia puts her hand under with an open palm, you hear a ching as 5 silver fall into your palm.
I'll return the bow before putting my hand, and then I'll put my hand, take the money, bow back again, and turn back to look at the rest of the fight.
There's not much left of this fight as the wolves devour. The wolves are actually, as they're an animal, are kind of given the opportunity to eat the individual. So there's a few moments of the crowd just going and getting food, or perhaps watching the grisly sight as the wolves dig in.
See, it's all very efficient. You don't have to spend money on feeder for them.
In fact, you want them hungry so they fight more fiercely.
And it seems as if they were very hungry. So my lighter has developed a new issue. So I have a candle to light without having to make a noise. And it's now turned into a flamethrower. So I think I'm going to stop that before I burn something.
Okay, then. Well then.
Oh.
And it was going further. It's quite worrying. So, right. You can stay and watch another pit fight if you wish. Or you can go off and do some other things.
I can't. I dare you to get in there and fight something.
Who did you dare?
Like,
Who did he say that?
I'm sure your blunderbuss will be very useful in their
Yeah.
backhand.
20
Yeah.
gold coins.
fuck off.
Well, we don't have to pay you if you don't survive.
Apparently you get a cut of whatever the winnings is, so.
As entertaining
Also,
as that.
Weren't we here for our
We are, yeah.
vermin friends.
We are, yeah, but if it's a stall, there's not... I mean, we can always come back here at some point.
Let's come back here at some point.
How about this? If I do a fight, will you do a fight at sometime down the line?
Sometime down the line.
Okay. So we're gonna go investigate this stall, and if we can't find anything we can bring back, we'll do that. If we can't,
We
We're
will
coming back here.
investigate the bazaar.
Maybe we should go find that ogre, capture it, and bring it here.
oh,
Ooh,
I mean,
What
who's
it
about
the
is
one
an
with the big
idea.
doors? You have some good doors.
what if the ogre's already here and there's a pit fighter? Or if he is the pit fighter.
I thought you were about to say he is the pit.
What if the ogre just went into the sewers and left at some point?
I mean,
And everyone
that's
just
also...
assumes he's still in there. For
It's been
years
50
now.
It's been 15 years.
He developed an entire colony down there. He's like the king of the lepers.
So,
We should probably go to the stall before we get sidetracked again.
Yeah.
you guys
so-
make your way over. Livia leading the way. So this isn't far from the pit itself. As you see, this giant, it's basically side room for storing black powder or other valuables in this place. You could see that there are a number of, perhaps they're ex-pit fighters, perhaps they're pit fighters who've got a little bit more freedom, who are acting as security. So along this area, there is actually people keeping an eye out, and basically acting as muscle for the vendors inside. They don't harass you as you go in. You just notice that this area actually has people who seem to be protecting it. Can you all give me a gossip test with a -60, except from Casper, who gets to remove, I believe it was 20?
20. Yeah.
I can
Um,
still succeed. I can still succeed.
All of you can do this.
I
Yeah.
succeed!
I
Jesus
did not.
Christ, Black Hat!
I could have
Can
made
we, or do we have to?
I have a question. Is it
Everyone
minus
should
60
do it.
on top of the minus 20?
yes.
No, this is a
The
gossip.
minus 20 was
This
only
is
for
gossip.
awareness, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was only for awareness.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was awareness.
No, this is gossip.
Could I get a +10 for my dwarf craft?
I
No,
don't think that matters.
no,
It's minus 21.
The only reason Casper gets basically a +30 is because he looks like one of the people who should be here, whereas all of you look very, very out of place. Just given the fact that you're not a shambling, mutated wretch. I know it's unfair of me to do this, but given the fact that most of you have said that you're quite good looking, or you've got quite nice gear on, or you're quite well equipped, you're not one of the locals. You're not from the
I
village.
mean, technically, Aurelia is wearing not the uniform, but an all black clothes,
A
hood up,
clean,
and also a mask.
a clean cloak. It was an expensive mask, wasn't it?
You're right. You're correct. I remove my statement.
I'm just happy that Ragnar has the third best gossip in this group.
It's one of those which down here you are not one of the locals, but Casper does kind of look like it, and it is a hard
It's
test.
just because
So as you
I'm
like
always covered to head to toe in fucking rags. Not rags, but
Cloths.
drapes and shit.
bandages,
Cloth, yeah.
so as you kind of look at each other and you disperse into this protected market area, there are a number of stalls, and yes, some of them are actually selling junk. General, just the same shit that was on the outside, but whatever. And as you ask around, you don't really get anywhere with any of the individuals. They see what you are and they know you're not welcome. And what you're asking for is a little bit too hot, even for them. But Casper, as you see your party members fail, you kind of hunch one of your shoulders a little bit more and put on a bit more of a limp as you come over, and perhaps maybe even a little bit of a lisp comes out as you speak to this stall merchant, who again doesn't have anything particularly good out on show. But as you talk to him, his eye goes wide, and he points to a man in the corner, and he gives you a token. Pass on. The token has a gnarled dagger being held in a clawed hand. I believe this is the right symbol.
Okay, so inventory.
Does he just think you're a rent boy and is trying to hire you?
Why is he giving me money then?
Because he's trying to hire you.
Oh yeah. I didn't think this through because it's usually the other way around. Every time this happens. Rent. What was it? God damn it! God damn it! I fucking forgot what he said.
It's so I didn't say the material. It's a wooden token with a engraving of a gnarled dagger being held by a clawed hand.
Gnarled dagger.
Oh, I'm like 80% sure that's the right description for what it is. The description might change.
That is out of character.
Okay, then if it's given you then I might have said the right description.
It reminds me of a clan, but I don't know which one again.
Oh, it's a very, very special one. A very special one. So you are given this token and you look over and you can see that the stall he points to has nothing on show. It is a wooden stall, really like shabby wood. The actual tabletop of the merchant stall is wavy like the sea. But he seems to be sat on a stool with what you think may be his legs crossed, his black cloak covering his entire form, but he keeps his eyes looking just underneath his cloak. Can't quite make any features out though.
Okay. I'll all right, I'll make a motion to the group. I was like, okay, I find it, and walk on over. I'll try to walk over ahead of the group and just kind of produce the coin or produce the token and go, I'm here for the good stuff.
He brings his legs out of a crossed position, and his legs then hang down on the stool as he leans over and takes the token from you. Oh, actually, it's just a dagger. It's just a dagger. There's no gnarled claw.
Okay.
So he leans over and takes the coin. Oh, you want good stuff? Yes, yes.
Oh no.
What coin you have to show?
Yeah. I'll just grab my coin purse under my cloak and just give it a little shake, Or no, I'll just dip my hand and pull out a few.
Shake,
pull out a
shake.
few gold. Shake, shake.
Make coins jingle jingle. Yes, yes.
Shake, shake, go, good. Yes, yes.
We see you, big spender. Yes, yes. So, suppose we can show. Hmm. And he brings down his hood. Is a young person, a young man. He's not yet begun to grow facial hair. He is
Mario
very
2?
skinny. Huh?
Mario 2?
Mario 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
He's very skinny and his skin is very pale, but you can't see any obvious mutations. But he is wearing a very large robe. It does look slightly better than everyone else's robes, but not much. What do you want? Yes? Or
Bullets.
what do you know? Ah, bullets. Yes. One moment. He goes
Do I know they're
down.
called bullets, or am I looking for like?
Well, shot bullets. Well, technically, it'd be shot if you want to be a gun nerd and like, throw a hissy fit about it. He leans down and pulls out a small wooden box, very plain looking, quite scraggly actually, and opens the box up. Can everyone roll me perception with a -60?
God damn it.
Yeah.
And for the elves, yes, that does apply with your bit of smell. It's a harsh
Lovely.
smell down here.
No bonuses.
No bonuses.
Excuse
How
me,
the
Ragnar.
hell?
How is that with -60?
Because I have a lot of int.
I'm at -80, Yasina, and I have.
I'm pretty
target
sure it still
probably-
caps at -60.
I don't know, man.
I think the game actually caps at -30. It's only Dark Heresy that brings in. But seeing your scores, it's like, well, do you know what? Life's a bitch, and I'm gonna be one too.
I'm pretty
How
sure
much
it's
is your
-80 overall.
perception?
If you click on the
Ragnar?
thingy.
How high is my perception? It's 89.
So,
Damn you.
as Ragnar and I believe Carla. No, sorry.
Casper.
Went too far up. So it is
Wait.
Ragnar and Casper, yes. As the box
Yes.
opens, you feel the distinct feeling that eyes have just turned to you. Like your group eyes are on you. You just have this immense feeling that since that box just creaked open, you were being watched intensely. That you can't figure out from where. Like as you look around the crowd, no, they're not. None of them are doing. Where is it? You even look up, and the large chamber has a number of dark areas within the vaulted ceiling, and you just can't see anyone or anything peering down. But you definitely have the feeling that you're now being placed under massive scrutiny. As the box opens all the way, there are a number of leather pouches in there. And the individual takes a leather glove and puts it on. Always use protection when handling. This is very dangerous. Understood? Yes? Good.
Yeah.
He takes out the pouch.
Step back.
He takes out the pouch and very carefully undoes the leather strap and lifts the pouch and rolls it onto a piece of leather that he brings out. And you see one lead ball with large green crystals embedded within.
Okay. How much?
100 crowns if you want. You want what? Yes, yes.
Jesus, that's expensive.
I want, but a ton of crimes. Pushing it, boy. Pushing it.
Can I roll and evaluate?
You
See how
can.
much it is actually worth.
You have no idea. That would be the one problem here. You've got no way to base this evaluation on. Gold, you can easily evaluate something made of gold, the weight, the carat, but with warpstone,
I just have no clue. Okay, it's fair.
you dwarves normally like find warpstone and like, right, close that mine down, you know, close that area off. We don't go near that.
Two cases out of shaker. Would I? Is leather enough, or do you need something more sturdy?
This guy's
You
fine with leather.
don't know, like out of character, leather and lead are fairly good. Leather can be used. The warpstone might just burn a hole through the leather when it feels like burning a hole through the leather. It might just turn the leather into a soft wool, and it will just fall out. Warpstone is a tricky thing to. Lead works very well.
Also just does what it damn well wants.
So,
Right.
I have 180, so I can fund it.
As I say, we do. We're gonna need something, and how much did fucking Humperdinkle say? 50. He was gonna front.
Try and haggle it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to do that. I do want to. I'll come now. One ball for 100 must be a little bit crazy. I know it's very, very good, but at the same time, there must be something.
Pretty
Say-
yes.
I'll. Right.
Best
I'll-
price?
Best price. Wide roll haggle.
105. Yes, yes.
Hey!
That's not how things work, my boy.
Hey, Casper has a child.
Probably. I
Now,
don't
apparently.
know.
So it's up to you.
I don't think he can anymore.
If you want to try haggling, he just shakes his head.
He won't haggle.
No.
Just pay him to understand, be done with it.
Best price. Only place. Only price. Yes, yes.
Where'd you get
I
them
throw a
from?
coin.
They seem quite a specialist item. Do you
I
make them?
wouldn't. I wouldn't really ask that,
Yeah,
especially since you're one of the ones that feels like, oh yeah, I'm being watched by somewhere.
Yeah, too.
Me not know.
um,
Truth. Me not know. Get, and sell. Yes, yes.
All right. All right. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. I'll. Can I at least try and haggle for 90?
You can try and haggle for 90.
Okay.
Do this one with a minus 20 to your haggle.
Okay. Fuck.
150. Yes. Best price.
So as you try and like attempt to haggle, he just gives you this just stare of price is the price. Yeah.
All right.
He
All
shrugs.
right. So, how much was that? Was it 105, or was it 110?
100 gold. Yes.
Okay, 100 gold. I'll hand him over the 100 gold.
$100 gold has been passed over. He takes the leather pouch and he opens it up and he gets his leather glove and he picks up the piece of leather and slides it in. He puts the piece of leather into the bag as well. He closes the bag up, but as he places it down next to you, you notice that the bag doesn't seem to close like a normal money bag would. Seems to be something in there that's holding it like a square. Very dangerous.
What?
Yes. Be careful how you touch. No skin. Bad things happen. Do not touch.
Oh, that's a shame. His favourite thing to do is skin.
What?
I mean, you do spend quite the amount of money in the brothels.
I know, I spent too much money in the brothel and I have 9 fucking gold coins worth left of fucking money on me. So I'm going to make sure my gloves are on nice and fucking tight and grab it by like the tip. So I'm not touching where the ball bearing would be. And not ball bearing, the fucking
Shot.
the shot would be. I'm grabbing it by like the tip where you would have like the little pouch, not the pouch, the pinch bit.
Just the tip?
Yes.
Lead inside bag protect somewhat.
Okay, so actually it's right.
But don't fall or boom.
Fuck, alright, Jesus Christ. Sorry, my fucking Sigmar's bollocks. And I'll
I
put
By
that in
Sigmar's orcs?
I have this too if you wish to buy. He pulls out a very, very small horn. Tiny little horn. And he takes the plug off of it. And just as he does this, he actually looks up at the ceiling before putting a very small amount onto another piece of leather that he brings out. And
Oh my god, this is fucking snuff.
you can see black grains and then just a few tiny little shards of green flickering as he brings a light. Very foolishly brings a candle over and puts it on the other side of his wobbly ass.
Apparently
Like
his ass is his
covered
soul.
behind someone.
Oh my god.
just enough to apply light to the area so that you can see their green sparks within.
Jesus. Alright. Well, fuck. The group is behind me, right?
Yeah, I'd like to look at the ceiling after he did, because I got that feeling of being watched.
I'm gonna do the same.
So the ceilings in here are quite large. From where you are to the top of the ceiling, you can't see. It goes beyond your night vision. So the very rafters
can I-
is just blackness.
Can we look up and can we see at least beady little red eyes?
No.
This?
They're actually like 30 feet above us with like
Hey,
ropes.
this. Can I
Yes,
magic sense?
you
this
can indeed.
Or this? Because I don't know if it's still broken or not. I mean,
I think it's still broken until you actually get into your...
oh,
Sure.
so I actually
Well,
mechanically have to switch. Okay.
Let me think. So you are going into the switch. You have No, because you spoke with Bane. So
Yeah.
you've been explained the difference in what you were So as you close your eyes, Carla, you're one of the few people on the planet who will know the difference. You do the complete opposite of what your previous career told you. And this time, rather than beseeching your god to assist you in looking into the winds, you tap into the winds themselves to change your perspective of the world. And as you open your eyes, it is far brighter and less clouded than when you looked with your god's assistance. Now the shine of magic is far brighter and more vibrant of colours. And you can see there are a number of magical items in the area. I believe your party has a couple of items that are technically slightly magical.
I mean, the
Lucky
helmet's getting
charms.
there.
Well, Lucky Charms I have to play off as being a lesser magical item because they could save you from being shot.
Oh yeah.
So, and then just around, you can tell that in some of the stalls, some of the people within this area have magical items of a lesser quality. But as you look at what Casper is holding, you see very little magic emanating from it. It's very, very slight. You can almost not tell because there is just this light show going on as you look down, and you can see the mundane black powder and the warpstone dust that has been mixed into it. Each tiny piece of dust giving off a violent explosion of green energy. It doesn't affect you in any way, but it is clearly not like your magical items that give off a glow, where they've been... well, actually, sorry, this isn't raw warpstone.
It's refined.
So it's refined. So this gives off a very vibrant green glow rather than a crackling energy. But the energy still doesn't seem to want to be contained. It still wants to spike out, rather than a human item that has an enchantment in it where the energy moves around in a seamless flow. This energy moves around and sparks out and tries to leave its own area, which is very, very odd. And no other magical item in the old world acts like this. But you immediately get the sense that this is serious power within these fragments of warpstone. 25 gold, and one shot for good price. Yes.
Yeah, fuck it. Give me the 25.
I hand over 25 gold coins and stare. And try to act normally. I just give over the 25 gold.
Is he just secretly inside, like, giggling like a child on Christmas morning? Like,
No,
Probably yes.
he kind of
Special
actually
black
takes
powder.
he takes the money just nonchalantly as if it's not his. He's just doing a transaction.
I meant black hand in reaction to the special black powder. Sorry.
So, my mistake then.
It's alright.
Once he...
I mean, I would look excited, but I think I just have a neutral face because I'm familiar with marketplaces. Can't look too excited, otherwise they rip you off. And I don't really want to
Black Hand's
use
feet. He's just tippy-tappy.
So, you can write down that you have powder and shot warpstone. So warp shot and powder.
Alright, I'll carry
Times
these
one.
if that's alright.
Yeah, you're
That's
the one
more
who's
than
like-
alright.
You're the one that's least likely to explode, so sure.
I don't know about that, to be quite honest. But
Fine. You're the one that least matters if you explode.
hey,
Wow.
Kid.
fucking hurtful.
Mate, mate,
Hurtful.
he pays for your brothel crawls, and this is how you repay him?
It
He's
is
on
magical
share.
damage. It is magical
Oh.
damage, so it
Oh.
will completely affect Casper.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Not
I
that
take
we,
back my comment.
not that you know it.
Yeah. But it was a
True.
character
Fucking
comment.
You pay for your own covers now, you prick.
Wasn't
So I propose a motion. We take this to Bane ASAP. Any objections?
Ixnay on the Bainsnay.
Yeah, not saying that now. Wait till we get out.
I mean, yeah, but like out of character.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. We go right to Bane.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so
Just make sure the. Oh my god, we're gonna have to carry him in a crate, locked in with fucking.
It's night
no, it's night time.
Oh, okay.
It's night time.
Oh,
That's how I got here.
We can put the warp zone in the crate, although I didn't bring it with me because it was night time.
You
No,
do the
please.
transaction. The money is put away. The lid of the box comes down, and it goes back to where it was hidden away. The young man takes a last look at you all, and good day, yes. Go away. And he puts his hood back up, and folds his legs, and goes back to his seat. The feeling of being watched, for those of you who felt it, does not go away. It intensifies.
Of course. Just before we walk off.
The rest of the party.
Oh no, I
Before-
don't tell anyone because that's a stupid idea right in front of the person.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
you know, we're gonna be now shadowed to the tower itself,
Oh yeah.
and
oh,
then
yeah.
probably ambushed.
I mean, to Skaven. Who cares?
Can I
Yes.
can I lean over to the kid and ask for another one of those tokens in case I want to come back here and buy more?
You know where I am now. You find me easy. No more tokens
so you're
for
just-
you.
Okay. Thank you.
What was the symbol on it? What did it mean?
Don't ask questions.
I mean,
Symbol
was
of
it
clan,
the-
clan, yes.
Clan? What is the name of this clan?
Don't push it.
No question. For the love of something.
We're sorry for him. He's a bit not right in the head.
Would he care?
Listen,
To
thank
be
you, Cub.
honest
We're
with
gonna
you,
go on.
we Yellowfang, yes. Dwarf thing.
Thank you, man thing.
Yes, we're going now. You stupid bastard.
Bye.
Bye bye, man thing.
I'm just putting my head in my hand and I'm just gonna turn away and walk off.
I pretend I didn't hear it.
Can I? Is there what's the scrutiny roll in this to see if he was actually telling the truth? What?
Bye bye.
Bye bye, man thing. I don't. What is this? Oh, I can't see any scrutiny.
Perception, I believe.
Yeah, just perception.
There would be a minus for his.
Yeah, I'm assuming this isn't a flat perception.
I believe you get a +10.
You can fly.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wow.
He didn't do
I
very
mean,
well
I
on hiding his.
I suppose it's a very ill-fitting trench coat. Fucking hell, 99.
He seemed to be
How do
quite
you-
honest.
Waldo, explain to me, how do you have fucking 80 per intelligence?
It's quite easy, dude. Remember, you get pluses for advancements, and then you get high intelligence.
He has
He's a
plus
runesmith.
30 in his advances.
I thought it capped at.
It caps at 20, but I got 69 in.
Jesus Christ.
In is the whole thing for runesmith, so I need
I
it.
know.
I've got 44 int.
I hope you didn't hear that.
Yeah, I heard it. So, what is he telling the truth? Sorry, we kind of got lost there for a second.
Yes, he is. He seems to be telling the truth.
Okay. Thank you, man. Thing. Just kind of copying what he said to me, but back at him, and then I follow the others out.
Okay. So you follow the group out, led by young David Wise, aka Mario Jenkins.
Mario.
He seems he seems quite unimpressed with what's gone on, and he kind of wants to leave. He didn't like it the last time.
He's
he was
unimpressed.
He doesn't understand it, so why do you ask? Why do you think he could be impressed?
He's down here like, I'm not impressed by this place. I just want to go. I didn't like it the first time. I wish I'd never said anything. Since I said that, I've been kidnapped. This is bullshit.
Being threatened with the retributions of the ancestor gods for questioning why someone's in a crate.
You're not being kidnapped. You're being employed.
Yeah.
I still think it's kidnapped. I didn't ask for this. I'll go home.
You know what? We will bring you to Hammertinker. We can sign.
Sometimes you go out in life seeking opportunity, and sometimes the opportunity finds you.
And sometimes you have a safe employment, but then some wankers come along and take that away. I don't like this.
It's not kidnap, it's conscription.
Listen, boy. You stay behind Blackhand and make sure he doesn't point his gun at you, and you'll be fine.
Actually, that reminds me of that one time I was in Araby, and they had, and Carla just launches into that totally not related to nothing rant about
and then
Araby.
Everyone else is like, fucking where?
Yeah.
Araby.
Would I know where Araby is?
No.
I don't know where Araby is.
No one.
None of us do.
We're not from that far south.
I mean, you can see maps, right?
That's through the wastelands of the orcs.
Yeah, that's
right
through the
down
border
past
princes, the
mountains.
Badlands, even through Nehekara, technically. But you can, I imagine you can take a boat from Telia.
To be fair,
There are.
Yeah.
Geographically, I'm probably one of the closer ones because I'm from Zufbar. But even then, I probably won't.
to Tilia you are. So you'd know about the trade boats that go out from Tilia, because Tilia's gets special trade agreements with certain races, so they get access to other areas. So I mean that's how Humperdinck would have got to the old world within the old world.
I mean, Tilia is that's where the Myrmidia originally came from. I know it's contested whether she came from Tilia or Astelia.
Yeah.
But like that region.
I believe you were right there.
That gets cool.
But yes, you make your way out, and once
as we're walking out, I will like whisper to someone to tell the rest that okay, we're being watched and or followed.
You got that? Yeah.
Can I do a perception test now that I've been warned about this? Now that we're outside.
If you're still in the tunnels and it's -60, once you get outside, you don't have the feeling of being watched anymore.
You know, like once we were outside, I should probably mention the magic in this thing really wants to get out. Like, really.
And Livia, you would have seen this when you did your magic sense for refined warpstone. You would have seen that it's like I described.
This is very volatile. So don't touch it, don't shake it, best even don't look at it.
Can we just put it in a bag or something? I mean, we
It's
should
also-
probably just put it in a lead chest,
It's
like
in
I
a
saw
lead.
Humperdinck do. But
I don't. Yeah, but I don't think any shops are open for us to buy a lead chest right now.
Yeah.
Currently store it in
Could we
your-
have
we-
bought a lead pouch retroactively?
No, I don't think
We wouldn't have known.
We wouldn't have
That
known
would-
to need one. I just look at Casper and say, well, I did buy you a dwarven crate. It would probably hold it fairly well.
Look, maybe we should go straight to Bane with this.
Yeah. What's the fastest sneakiest?
Of us, he's the most qualified to handle this. And
That's the thing. We either bring this to Bane or we bring it to Humperdinck.
no, to Bane.
no, Bane.
We do not bring this to Humperdinck.
And by the Morsbeak, Sigmar's bows, and everything else, don't let us get searched by the guards with that.
Yeah.
It's okay, I can distract them while you guys keep
No.
going. It's me they have a problem with.
You do understand that I'm not paying your bail.
That's a big.
It's been a while since I killed someone. We could always just shank a bitch.
I knew I liked you.
I think we should just,
Murder of city guard is ill-advised.
But fun.
Ill-advised. You know you're really not helping.
They deserve it.
Doesn't matter.
Right, we won't murder any yet.
Can we just go to Bane? We'll murder
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
We have
just
to.
Yeah,
go to
let's go
Bane.
to Bane.
Walk and talk, walk and talk.
Okay, so it is Black Powder Week after all. So as you leave the decrepit, smelly ruins and enter into the fresh air, you elves are grateful for the slight breeze. But then you're assaulted
If I
by
s-
the lights and sounds of fireworks being set off.
Boom!
For the elves that have not left the forest, guess what? You've never seen fireworks before. Not at night.
Just one thing. If I see a kid, I will be shooting one of my bottle rockets at him.
Fuck you, random child.
There are a number of children out on the
He
streets.
so much as look at me. He so much as look at me with a fucking rocket in his hand. I'm shooting him.
So there are a number of children running about the streets. It's night time now, so they're not so much firing off their little bottle rockets. That, and I'm sure there are some streets that are still having bottle rocket wars, but at the moment it seems quite quiet on the war front. The light show that is above you
There's a
right now.
ceasefire.
Maybe.
All quiet on the Nuln front.
The
classic.
light show going off in the skies of Nuln at the moment are breathtaking. For the old world, for this era, this is, for those of you who haven't seen it, if you've seen fireworks, this is an unbelievable fireworks show. If you've never seen fireworks before, then this is a sight to be seen. There are boats lining up along the River Reich, launching fireworks, dozens at a time. You even, as you take a quick detour to go towards the docks of Shady Town to see what's going on, you can see the boats firing these massive mortar-like fireworks into the sky, and then it's just illuminated with, and I believe this is different from our time, they actually have coloured fireworks. You can see reds, greens, I don't think they have blues.
This is probably all things given. This is a very bright night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh fuck, the sun! Wait, it's not the sun. Yes!
Sometimes you have enough moonlight that it's somewhat
Nah,
like this.
not damaging wise. Casper's fine.
Yeah.
Moonlight doesn't actually affect me because it's actually a reflection.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't have a shadow in moonlight.
So what you're saying is you need a really big mirror with you at all times.
No, that would be terrible. That would be
That'd
horrendous.
be awful. That's like the worst fucking thing I could get.
Everyone would notice that the reflection in the mirror is not being carried by no one. Like, how is there's
Yeah.
a person there, but he's not in his own reflection?
I mean,
See,
the lights of the.
this is when you pull a magic trick and someone steps out of the mirror and it's a performance.
We'll see.
How
This
did
is
you
the
step
old
out
world
of the
of
mirror
magic.
when there was no one in the mirror?
This is the old world of magic. You'd pull that shit off in certain towns, and they'll lynch you for being a witch or a warlock.
Yeah.
So, the skies are alight.
Oh, that was a good one.
Do you
Sorry,
spend
there's a.
Do you spend any time watching the show, or do you make your way begrudgingly through town and away from the fireworks display?
I mean, I think this is probably the first time I've seen fireworks, so I would probably stand and watch for a moment or two.
Yeah, definitely stand and watch.
I
really
love
would
to
do
watch.
that.
We have a volatile ball of death in our pockets, so
I don't know, but
I
pretty
want to get rid
lights.
of that.
I
Even
can
though
everyone
we're like
roll
in
me.
a-
Can watch.
Can everyone roll me 1d100?
Oh, guys, why do we have to stop and watch?
Because pretty lights.
Because
Pretty
fireworks.
colors. Oh,
Bloody
Even
waste.
though Irena is impressed and likes the fireworks, she is still looking out for kids because if so much as a kid dares look at her, she's shooting the bitch.
Fucking
Okay.
vindictive.
So, as you stand and watch, you see the boats firing off round after round after round. Blackhand, you can roll me engineering knowledge. As is. Round after round after round is fired up, and you are just amazed by the display. Every now and then you can tear your eyes away from the lights display
it.
in the skies. And
Can I have a +5?
No. You look down and you can see the men loading and firing and loading and firing. And then all of a sudden you start hearing screaming coming from one of the boats. You look over and you can see a man just yanking on this piece of wood as there is a very, very, very hot mortar barrel that's just had a fresh load put into it. Do they get it off in time? They do. So you see this man stick this wooden stick underneath the flooring of this mortar, and he just jumps on it. He just hangs off the side of this boat after jumping on this lever, and you just see this mortar flip over very dangerously through the air and plummet into the Reich itself. And the man just, as he gets off, and another mortar is brought out, and the fireworks display continues. However, shortly after that wears off, it happens to another boat, as you hear more screaming and shouting, and you look over and you see the same procedure performed again. Exactly the same. The mortar being launched into the sea, into the Reich.
That
Something
seems
tells
rather wasteful.
Something tells me these humans aren't ready.
Better than it going off on a boat filled with explosives.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
miles better.
There.
I mean, we still dumped them in the sea, so
About 15 minutes has gone by as you've watched. The show doesn't seem to be ending. Do you want to carry on watching for another 15 minutes, or do you want to get going now?
I reckon
can
we'll
we
start
move and
dragging.
watch?
Yeah, I reckon
I
we'll
want to
start
move and
dragging
watch.
people. Like, come on, we said we were
Okay.
going.
Okay.
No, yeah, I'm just gonna keep going because
So-
this is just gonna go.
45 minutes later. Well, not quite. As you make your way. No, we're just going to say that the fireworks display tonight went off without a hitch. You didn't see it, so it didn't happen. Like, did the tree really make a sound as it fell in the forest? With no one around to hear? Who knows? Did that boat blow up because of a fireworks mishap? You'll never know. You make your way to
I mean, we can
X4.
gossip the other day and, we'll probably hear something.
No, it would only happen if you were all there. Sadly.
Oh,
hang on, that
this is
one's
quantum
closed.
physics.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those weird
Schrodinger's
things.
fireworks.
It only works when watched. Okay.
Schrodinger's explosion. Yes.
How many
through
gates do we have to cross?
Just one. Through Highgate, as Magnus Gate is closed at this moment, you go through Highgate, taking you into the town centre and then off into the Noble District. But as you get to Highgate, unfortunately, the guards there give you the eye as you come on over. So, who are they going to pick on this time? Casper has something he doesn't want to show. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So give me a D6.
Ragnar's
Ooh,
definitely
two.
glaring back at them.
As you
Is
approach,
that
as you
me
approach
or
the
is
gate,
Zoya?
It's not me.
as you approach the gate with your 2 pennies. Is it 2 pennies per leg? No, a penny per leg.
Yeah, no, it's 1 penny
penny
per
per
leg. You said.
Yeah. So as you approach, you've already got your coins out, ready to pay. Carla pays. Olivia goes to pay. Hang on a minute. We've had a description. Someone looking like you carrying a very dangerous weapon. We may need to search you a minute. I don't want to hear any words from you. Come on. He pushes you.
Out of character, do you mean Livia? Do you mean
No.
Aurelia?
Sorry, Aurelia. He begins to
Aurelia's just gonna cock her head to the side.
He begins to
She's just
manhandle
like-
you. He's manhandling you. Come on, over here. You know, I've got a searcher. I've been informed that you've got a very dangerous weapon that we need to evaluate. Come on.
He touches me, I'm just.
Oh, he's already
I'm just gonna cock
manhandling
my
you.
head to the
He's
side.
already manhandling you. Straight,
Oh,
you know.
like- Are you? I'm just gonna cock her head to the side, and she's gonna look back at the group. She has a lot of weapons and a ball in her back. She's
What?
like,
What? Do you want to go against the city guard or something? Come on, fucking get on there. And he pushes you up into position. You're like, what the fuck? Have you seen how many? He pushes you so that you're
if
up
you-
against a wall.
Shut up!
Arms on the wall. Let me see the weapons. We were informed that you had something
Aurora's
that
gonna
could
look
be
at him
used to
and
kill a very important noble. So we need to take our job seriously. He
Aurora's
removes
just.
all of your weapons.
Oh.
And he drops them unceremoniously on the ground.
no!
Oh,
Ding.
Aurora's gonna give
Ding.
him. Can I try to intimidate this guy?
Sure, you could try to.
Fuck. Problem is I don't have intimidate. Never mind. I'm just gonna look at him dead in the eye and say, "Are you sure you want to keep doing this?"
Am I sure I want to carry on doing my job? I'm sorry, did you think because you were an elf you wouldn't get searched and you wouldn't get checked? I mean, your kind carries contraband as much as the others. And also, you have an affinity with... And he kind of motions with his hands. You know, that stuff's dangerous, so we want to ensure that you can't do anything. He begins frisking you down. And he gets very handsy.
Can I keep an eye on him to make sure he's not trying to plant anything on her? 'Cause I remember
Aurella's gonna remove her mask, put on, and just look at him and his mask. What is your name, my good sir? And she's just gonna give him a deathly grin.
My name is none of your business.
Oh, then you just made the list. None of your business.
He
Aurella's
gets
just,
very,
he's
very
just gonna be
handsy.
smiling.
He gives
She's
you
gonna-
a
she-
very
she's gonna
thorough
watch.
frisk. And as he finishes up going over your legs, he's like, "Well, I thought you said it was an elf who had something suspicious on them." Well, that's what I was told. We were to search all elves coming into the noble quarter. Okay, you got nothing on you. Collect your gear and go.
Huh.
Aurella's gonna. How many people are in this place? Is this place lively and full of people?
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
murder the guards.
It's
I think
It's the
Aurelia's
main
just gonna
way
look
in
at
and
him,
out of the
look back
noble
on
area
this.
on the
Grab her
first night of Black Powder Week. Yeah, the streets are pretty packed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aurelia's gonna put her mask back on. She's gonna look at the god. She's gonna look at the rest of the people and see. She'll approach the group as soon as everyone is past. She's gonna say, "I think I'll stay behind for a little bit."
No, please, no. We're going now.
Did he say they're searching all elves?
Yeah,
Except
and
you, apparently.
then he let you go.
How did they know she was an elf? She was wearing a mask.
Livia
Yeah,
looks
I was
at
wearing a
one
mask and I
baggage carrier. Like,
Don't ask
I
questions.
will make sure.
Do you
I
want to
will make sure he
perception
didn't
it?
take any of my stuff.
Do you want to
Let's
perception
just-
it to see if he was lying?
Yeah.
Auto success. He was lying.
Obviously, he was lying. He's
I
just
Let's
being.
just go.
Really, if you want to stay, I'll join you. We can find
No,
a nice bar somewhere.
No.
Just go. Check your pockets.
Yeah, the last time they tried to put something on me, so
It's just narrow her eyes under her mask. She's gonna look at Goddess. Fine, but you should remember you're no longer her priest, Carla. And she'll just keep moving.
Ooh.
And what of it?
The fuck is this sauciness coming from? Just
I don't see how this applies to our current predicament.
Everyone is just not gonna answer. Just gonna keep.
So
Fucking pointy-eared leaf lover.
you make your way through X3, the High Gate, and as you enter into the Noble's Quarter, you will also notice that there are fireworks here as well. They're not as it's quite odd from when you're walking here. It looks like they're smaller fireworks. But once you actually get into the Noble Quarter and you look back, you can see that they've got large fireworks going off in the distance and then smaller fireworks going off closer in. You don't get accosted by any children with fireworks this night. You actually get all the way to Baines, and as you turn around to look from the palace back, it is just a magnificent sight of these small lights lighting up the foreground, whilst in the background these massive different coloured balls of lights and sparkles, and it's quite something to see. And as you look up at the tower, the guards, knowing who you are now, seeing that you're coming across, they don't ready their weapons, and once you tell them you're to see Bane, they open the gate for you rather than having a messenger sent. You go in and you can actually see the curtains are open, and there is a young face looking out in wonder. But he is torn away as you knock on the door, and after a moment or two, the door opens to a panting apprentice. Yes, Master Bane is in his office. Do you want me to announce your arrival, or do you want to go straight up?
yeah, nine's up to him. Let him know that we're back from the market.
Righto. Go up one floor, and I'll go get the master. Sorry, 2 floors. So you go through his laboratory and workshop into his library stroke. What did we say it was? Like a greeting room, like an old Victorian greeting day room.
Okay.
You all take a seat as the apprentice just opens the door and goes up the next flight of stairs. Murmured voices can be heard as Bane comes down with the apprentice. The apprentice basically getting you all the same drink as what you had last time, only Aurelia's doesn't have gold in it anymore, because he knows now that you're not metal mage. So yeah.
Oh, I wanted to drink enough to get a coin. I
Just
won't
stick
mention.
out a
I,
coin.
I, I,
But
I
drink
won't
enough to piss out a coin later.
It
That's
doesn't
one
come
hell of
out
a
that
kidney
way.
stone.
It
That
doesn't come
sounds
out that
hurtful.
way.
I know.
So Bane sits down and a drink is brought to him. So you have found something so quickly. He gestures with his hand.
Reach in my pocket, pull out the little pouch, and actually make sure my gloves are on first. Properly, even though I should be wearing them anyway, but still. Reach in the pocket, pull out the pouch, and clear a bit of room on this desk to set it down and open it up.
As you open it up and go to pour it out, he gestures with his hand, and one moment. He goes down to his workshop laboratory, brings up a what he believes is correct, a lever, a piece of basically a cutting board with leather that's been wrapped around it, and a piece of lead under that. Places it on the table, so you've got a much bigger area to work with. As you pour out the contents, placing the little tiny horn down as well, maybe. The ball, the shot rolls out. Bane closes his eyes, performs a magical sense.
Back, where are we?
You were
We're
with
at
Bane,
Bane's.
and
Okay.
the shot has been presented as you all have a drink. This is most interesting. Its properties have been altered in its forging. How?
The reputable merchant also spoke in a very different, weird manner.
He had a weird accent.
Yeah, he like to
also-
double yes.
He also called the hothead here, and I point at Ragnar, dwarfing?
He had a very peculiar way as a whole.
Yeah, he said he was from a clan, the Yellow Fang?
Yellow Fang.
I
Well, he
have
was
no
truthful about that,
knowledge
at least.
of such a clan, but perhaps he was from the north, a northern clan. It is possible. There are still some roaming clans within the empire, but not many anymore.
Also, that was very expensive. You were right. That's
Yeah.
not something anyone can afford.
Just anyone.
I'm sure Humperdinck will repay the costs. It
That
is
cheapskate.
interesting, though. I wonder how they were able to work it. All my attempts so far, bar one, have failed dramatically.
Bane, don't try. When we find that stuff in the mines, we seal it off. Don't try to mess
Perhaps
with it.
to your detriment. If it can be worked like this shows, it could be a very valuable tool to those with the magical arts to use them.
Would be the only way you're going to get that knowledge is talking to the unmentionable things.
Yes, that might be the only way.
You
But
don't want any knowledge they will give you because they will use it to their own ends.
he
who
looks
wouldn't?
with... This looks like a man who has just been shown the location of the Holy Grail.
Oh my god.
Oh, for fuck's sake, he's like this with the runes as well, isn't he? No, that's quite clearly not in character.
Yeah, I was about to say, what about ruins?
I mean, it's
Is
not.
your
it-
mind so closed off to the possibilities?
What exactly makes it so dangerous that we're supposed to be wearing gloves for it? He says it burns or something.
Well, the magic in it is quite unstable, and it's
Perhaps
looking for a way out.
an experiment is in order.
You remember what
Come
happened
with
to
me.
the people on the boat?
He
The
takes
one that
his,
exploded?
I was trying to forget that.
he takes his glass and he
That's
heads
Oh,
downstairs.
yeah.
I would like to take cover.
Hang
I
on,
take
hang on a
cover.
second.
Bane, don't.
No, he's left the shot
Bane,
there.
let us take cover.
The shot's still there. He said,
You're
let's
right.
do an
gonna
experiment,
take
and
a
went
step
downstairs.
Bane.
He's,
So-
he's
I
not he's
still
not doing
don't
it in
trust it.
he's not doing it in the room that you're all sat in. He's just gone downstairs to the laboratory. So taking
I go
cover in the
follow
room
him.
upstairs
Yeah,
is kind of
follow.
pointless.
Yeah, I go follow him.
Yeah, I'm following too.
I stand in the doorway, ready to
If
jump.
you're- Right, if you're gonna take cover, just stay upstairs. It's just safer.
Yeah.
So-
Ron is gonna follow, but you'll be taking cover behind Casper.
So
I love
Bane
you taking
kind of
cover behind him.
nonchalantly just almost forgets that you're all there, just making noise behind him as he pushes forwards down into his laboratory, where he goes over to a corner, away from the opposite area to where he had a vial of with a tiny amount of Grombril in it. He goes over to another corner, opens up a number of cupboards, and in the cupboards you can see that there are specimen jars with pickled specimens in. He places the specimens down onto the top of the workspace, onto the counter. So you can see there's like 5 specimens there, and then he takes out a empty specimen jar, and he goes over to another cupboard, and you can hear this rustling. There's lots of things bubbling and popping, and things going on in his laboratory. But as he goes over to his cupboard, you can hear this rustling of tiny little claws scraping on wires, on metal. And as he opens it, you can see that he takes out a cage full of rats.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
How appropriate. After what we presumably bottled off.
He places a rat into the these are like demi-jar size specimen tubes. They're quite large. The rat can't just jump out of it. He places it in, and he goes over to another cupboard, and he pulls out a small lead chest, smaller than the one that Humperdinck had, and putting on thick leather gloves, and taking care to place the chest down gently and open it gently. He takes out a small vial with a number of very small warp stones. These are smaller than nuggets, bigger than flakes, if you're going to use gold terms. You could pick them up like if a glass shattered. The small fragments that you can still pick up. He sprinkles, and one tiny little fragment falls and lands on the rat.
So why is it? So
Fucking
why is it
okay.
lead? Does lead have anti-magical properties or something?
Warstone is basically uranium.
That's in character question, by the way.
I believe
I
the
don't
rat
fucking
is
know.
just a rat.
It
I'm talking-
is just a test subject. Rats are not difficult to come by and quite easy to acquire.
That's because of our friends down below.
Not what I was asking about, but sure. Okay.
Sorry, I got sidetracked. What was your question?
Yeah, it's fine. Why is it lead? Like, is lead an anti-magic metal or something? Like, I know
I'm
out of
not
character. but,
entirely sure why lead prevents the magic from transferring, but it seems to contain it. I have theorized a lead armor, but in practice it is too heavy to be of any use. Where's the expanded mutations on Chaos Corruption and Mutations 26?
Chaos Corruption 88. I believe this is.
Oh dear. This is not going to go well for that rat.
Maybe not.
we are witnessing
No.
the birth of New
No,
Skaven.
it's actually the Warpstone stuff.
There's a book with keys, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Chaos book.
26, 27.
There we go. So,
Which book is it? It's not a 100.
Tome of Corruption.
Tome of Corruption.
Oh, okay.
So, do I have to? Ooh, okay. First time I've done this. Roll a D1000.
Oh wow, that's not a dice you hear of very often.
No, that's just 3 D100s.
Which page is it?
27 is the start of the, or page 30 in the PDF.
708.
Oh
That
no,
does
I think
not
I know what that one
sound
is.
good.
That sounds bad.
Oh no, never
Real
mind.
bad.
No.
708. Rash.
Yeah.
Grows a rash.
Okay, so
Oh, okay.
as
No, you might wanna
as the
read it.
warpstone fragment falls down, it collides with the back of the rat.
Spoilers.
The hair immediately falls out, and a thick, gruesome, bubbling rash appears all over the creature's body. It writhes in pain as... Oh, Jesus, how far do I have to scroll to get to rash, just to make sure I'm not...
It actually is just a rash. It's a breakout of, let me see.
where it's horrified because it's on a rat. An oozing,
Strange
pussing rash.
Yeah.
Ew.
So if you gain this mutation, it spreads from new part of the body. There's no additional effect of this mutation. It's fear 0 as well.
The creature writhes as the rash appears so quickly, burning its skin.
Do it again.
You want
As-
to do
as-
that to people?
As Casper's like, do it again. He's like, He taps out another one.
This motherfucker here, sciencing the shit out of Warpstone.
Wait, you...
Oh!
Science.
Oh!
Oh, is Low bad in this? I assumed Low
Oh,
was...
actually, no.
good.
He would have got another jar out with another rat to keep them all separate. So he very quickly dispatches the rat. With he'll do it He'll do it magically. Just doom, and it's dead. He pours vinegar in to keep it moist. Keep it from rotting.
Cooking with.
26.
I actually need that mutation.
What is it? Is it immunity to something?
Alluring. Invisible fingers dance across the face, removing blemishes and emphasizing the natural beauty. Gain 1d10% up to your fellowship and +5 to your charm tests.
What the fuck?
This is a handsome as fuck rat.
Isn't it Fitz? 26?
26?
Yeah. Isn't it 26, which is Fitz?
No,
Fitz?
26. That's the. Are you looking at the big table or?
Yeah, oh, hang on. Oh no, sorry.
Yeah, you might be looking at one of the.
Sorry, I was on one of the small ones because I've scrolled so fucking far to try and find the description of rash. Ah, okay, yeah, I was on a very different one. So, okay,
Yeah.
so You don't really notice that much with this rat, except for some weird reason, when you look at it now, you're like, huh, I wouldn't mind this one as a pet.
It looks cute.
He looks
Did
alright,
he just
doesn't
wink
he?
at me?
Can I keep this one?
Bane, why do you want to do this to people?
You want this one as a pet.
I mean,
Rats
Very
do not
well.
strike me as pets.
They
No.
can be trained, but they are rats.
I'd
You
rather-
have a natural rat with the mutation of
alluring.
alluring. If you use a trainer skill, you can train it to do one trick. I'll have to look in the rule book again, but it can learn a number of tricks. But so
You know,
to answer the question, you want to do this to people? Of course not. I wish to harness the magic within the warp stone to fuel spells and runes. You ignorant fool. As a runesmith, can you not see the benefits? If you were to craft a rune out of this refined warp stone, what would the effect be? A rune powered by endless magic?
Thank the ancestors, that I tell you.
And how do you know? Has
Can I
any of
roll
your
a
kind
fit-
tried?
Can I roll a
Your stubbornness is
knowledge?
what is ruining your people.
Okay. Can I roll academic knowledge runes to see if I could theorize what might happen if you did that?
You have no idea. On the simple
Okay.
basis of, as the dwarves, every attempt the dwarves have had to refine warpstone has ended with disaster. So you've never had, and you've never seen anything powered by warpstone magically, because at the moment you still don't know that warp fire is powered by warpstone. You
So
don't.
I just get the idea that general things like what happens when you fuck with warpstone also happens
Bad
with
things.
runes.
So with dwarves, this is the important thing with dwarves. It goes against tradition. It goes against. There are a lot of reasons why dwarves, as a culture, would go, no, look, it's dangerous. We're not going to use it. It's forbidden. It has been for generations. We just do what our betters tell us. Nope, we don't handle it.
Yeah.
For humans, they're not bound by this this century-long honor system and bullying to get their mages to do what they're told. You as a dwarven runesmith are like, well, no, it's the tradition of the runes that give them their power and that they've been handed down by generation and generation, and it's the blood, sweat and tears. You can't just magically power something. It's technique and practice. And
I think I know
you're
Well,
an odd case. You are an odd case, Ragnar, because you've
Oh,
tried
yeah.
selling runes. So
Well,
Shame on
for a
you.
reason,
have-
and no one knows it.
you have a
meanwhile, as
different
humans are
mindset.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah,
you,
just-
it might be an interesting concept, but you don't know the answers to it. No dwarf has ever brought this up in conversation.
All I know is warpstone goes bang.
Look,
I-
you're like
just go-
tradition this, tradition that. Whereas humans, I want to stick my dick into it.
Fuck's sake. I just heard
Hey.
I know damn sight bit more about rune crafting than any of you humans. And I know that if you try to make one with that, you will only be met with ruin and death and failure.
Every success we have in this world was led by 1,000 failures. Do you think the creation of spells is so simple?
And how
Yes.
many failures? Oops, sorry.
Was that refined or unrefined warpstone?
Refined. No.
Okay,
So the
that's
stuff
what
that
it
he
is.
sprinkled onto the rat, unrefined.
Okay, so that so it lost 3 wounds.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, the twisting and writhing in pain then for the other rat made sense. For this rat, it also twists and writhes in pain, but afterwards looks a lot better for it. I think they have like 4 HP. I'll need to double check, but we'll say this one survives because you want it for a pet.
Yeah,
I would-
touching unrefined warpstone deals 3 wounds if you feel the toughness test as well, and one of those wounds will never heal.
Wow.
And
So
how
it essentially
many...
permanently lowers your HP.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, it also improves casting magic as well.
and
Yeah, but chaos happens.
True.
So
Unless
it's
you
not
make it.
chaos. It's not chaos like the 4. It's chaos
No.
magic. All magic is chaos. So it's not 40k. It does take a different mindset. You can technically use warpstone with the right people and mindset, and because you're working with magic, which is chaos, you're not dabbling with summoning a Zinchian demon, which is forbidden chaos magic. True chaos magic is weird.
It's confusing.
so how many failures, wizard, have you had in trying to get to where you are with your pitiful human runes?
Thousands more than you're thinking. For each success, I would do it 1,000 times more. Because for every success, my apprentice will grow. I may not see the fruits of my labour, Master Dwarf, unlike you, but at the very least I will ensure my knowledge is not lost with the ages. Can you say the same for yours?
I am living proof that our knowledge is not lost for the ages.
Are you sure? We will see, won't
I
we?
think we should stop this dick measuring contest now, and maybe throw some more warpstones in there.
First, I swear to God, Ragnar. First the city guards, now Bane. Who's gonna be next?
I worry, Master Bane, you're going to bring ruin to yourself. And as you are a friend of Humperdinck, I do not wish to see that happen.
I will continue my work, regardless of my acquaintances. I was on this mission long before I met you, Master Dwarf, and I see no reason to alter my course.
I cannot stop you, but I would be remiss if I didn't warn you as I have.
He looks at Casper and he closes the vial. You can, however, see that in the other specimen cases, where the specimens have been kept for quite some time, you can see that one of the rats has a metal body now, where the warpstone actually hit it.
Jesus Christ.
It is a tarnished metal. It's not, even though it almost looks as if someone has tried to polish it up, it's a tarnished, nasty metal that even now seems to be rusting.
A metal rat.
Another one has a split tail. Sorry, a spiked tail. A spiked
He's a
tail.
herald of Sigma.
Does one have like horns?
No, but one of them does seem to have a very human face, and its arms have kind of got larger, and its fingers oddier. I'm hoping that's what Mankin means.
I have to ask.
That actually is a thing.
Yeah.
Does he have a rat with a human ear on its back?
No, sadly not. He could have done, but he doesn't. If you want to carry on experimenting, you can try.
I want to. I want to see where this goes, to be quite honest.
Okay, so
My main goal now is a rat
I-
with a long neck.
another
as far
rat
as
is
Ragnar's
called.
disgusted, he wants to also witness because he is a little bit different from.
Casper,
Witness
roll a
science.
1d1000.
Okay.
As another tiny fragment falls down onto. Can you?
Oh shit!
Can you get turned into like a chaos demon? Because that would be quite.
Yes, you
amusing.
can.
If the rat,
Right,
if the
right.
rat, if the
Minor
rat
cosmetic
mutates.
Undergo the flesh change.
No, I believe that's rolled twice, isn't it? No, it's not. No, my
No,
oh dear.
that's
Minor,
The rat turns pink.
minor cosmetic
It's just the hair
change.
color changes.
It turns white, and its eyes turn red.
Oh,
It's now an albino rat.
that is actually is a thing, though. Becoming an albino rat is an actual thing. Or albino.
There are
Oh, is it on
Neat
there?
trait.
Okay, it'd have to be different then. So it
there are
turns
so
green.
many fucked up things, and we just got minor changes in the rash.
I think enrolling nearly max is a very bad thing, but apparently no, it's fine.
Invent your own.
Oh no! Like I was rolling.
So
If you roll max, you just make up whatever you want.
invent your own. It grows wings. It turns
996
into a little
12,000.
goblin. Hello, I'm Dux Fizzlespark, lawyer extraordinaire.
No, your name is now
There-
Boblin.
There's an actual zoological mutation, so he could change to a different species of, creature.
There's one there that turns into a beastman and everything.
So I think it's now time, as Bane looks at how many pieces he has left. He has one more tiny shard left, and he kind of goes, fuck it. Pulls out another rat, another specimen jar, turns around to his apprentice, order more specimen jars and vinegar. The apprentice writes it
Is he
down.
running out of
No,
warpstone,
no.
or is he running out of specimen jars?
Yes.
He doesn't have that much warpstone. Most of the warpstone that Humperdinck brought in has been used up on something.
Jesus Christ! Okay. What's up?
It's a
What?
new.
How much did he fucking spend?
306. Well, he used up quite a bit. There were a few things that he did.
The rat is afraid of blood.
He's not really
This is
sure
the
what. He's not really sure what
the wrong
happened.
David to be rolling.
See, here's the thing. Now, how do we explain the rat that there's blood inside him?
One moment. I did not think of this before. He goes upstairs and he brings down the tiny little. Well, let's say that you also showed him the warpstone. Oh, actually, hang on. Is warp powder refined? I don't think it is. No, it is. 'Cause it's the shaved. You refine warpstone and then you turn it into snuff and dust. So yeah, it is refined. He takes a tiny little horn of black powder that with warpstone in. He undoes the cork, and he sprinkles a tiny bit onto the rat.
That's not
The
very
rat
fucking-
takes damage. They've got like toughness 1. They're rats. This is a normal black rat. They don't have. Do you know what? The last 2 weeks I've had the Skaven book open, and this week I didn't. Tell me, Geddy, what happens when refined warpstone?
Roll a d10, please.
Oh dear.
Ripperonis?
A 7.
Okay. Oh, okay. So this rat can hold up to 8 mutations before it turns into a chaos spawn. It's your toughness bonus plus 1d10 after you get your first mutation, and that's how many mutations you can get before you become a chaos spawn.
That's amazing. I love it.
Carla's just gonna look at this and see, I think we should have stopped earlier, but clearly we're past this point, so we'll just keep going and see where that gets us.
So
We
does
should have
it roll?
stopped after.
Does it roll on the mutations thing? Or does it just it's now got a number added to when its doom comes?
Yeah, yeah. After you get your first mutation, that's how many mutations you can get before you become
out.
fully just evolve into chaos spawn. But you can still get more mutations.
Okay. No. So is that... Do I now roll for a mutation for the rat? Because this will be a new rat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, a new rat. Okay, I thought you were doing the old one.
No. Bane would put that one aside to find out what happened to it. More experiments will happen later on. He'll poke it and prod it and show it things. You scared of genitals? Is genitals it? No. Apprentices. That is no.
I will say, I think it actually said under Fear of Blood that depending on the cruelty and whim of the ruinous powers, some mutants develop more or less crippling fears, including urine, sewage, water, tar, and other liquids.
I mean,
love
look,
it.
I have to ask: is there a mutation where it learns Reich spew?
Probably.
Maybe.
But
What is
remember, no right spiel.
189. I hate you so much. No, I don't. So it breathes fire.
Oh,
No. Yeah,
I want
that is
one.
breathes fire.
Yeah!
I want
You
that.
can breathe fire.
A
See, now
fire
that's what it
breathing
says.
rat. Bane is
Now
impressed.
that would be a useful pet.
That's pretty
Next level's
cool.
fearsomely. It's warm to the touch. You can cough up a ward of liquid flame and spit it at your enemies. You must wait 1d10 rounds between uses.
Hey, Bane! If I buy myself a falcon, can we do that to him? I want a falcon that spits fire.
So it can spit a
really does
ball
a
of
face
flame
palm.
up to 4 yards away.
Hey,
How much
That
damage
might
does
be-
it do?
2. 1d10
Oh, it
plus
only does
2.
2. Okay. I think the
No,
glass in this
1d10
time.
plus
No.
2.
+2.
Yeah.
I would think that the glass vials are tempered so they can handle some heat.
If it,
I'd say due to his size, it's probably also just 2 damage.
it's one of those ones you can take multiples of. So if it gets it again, it spits a small explosive ball up to 16 yards and then uses a burst template.
Oh,
Explosion
Jesus.
template.
I
So,
want it.
And
Matt,
then if it gets a third time, it gets a cone.
so Bane puts this specimen jar to one side as the rat takes damage, squeals about and writhes in pain, and then at the end kind of goes into its corner, looks at Bane and fires a mini fireball at the glass. That is unrecorded. Closes the jar, puts it to one side, puts a blanket over the jar. I will need to takes out a notebook and begins finding the page, writing down. Most interesting. But it seemed to be different than with the unrefined. Yes, I believe
That
it
makes
would
sense,
be,
doesn't it?
but this proves it. If I could have or learn. But for now, Casper, you may keep your pet.
A big smile on my face.
So your pet rat looks good. He looks handsome.
You kind
There's
of
one
want to kiss
alluring
it.
rat. Don't kiss a Louis.
I could
I
attempt.
don't know where he's been. I don't know where he's been. I'm just putting him in the pocket.
I could attempt. You try put him in your pocket. He's not trained. Did you?
He's not
Oh, yeah,
trained
that's
yet.
right.
Keep him in his
Put him
jar.
Yeah.
He fights
Gonna
you
put
and
him-
bites you and does not want to be picked up.
Okay. Just keep him in the jar.
He looks at
No, I
Carla,
think he's-
and I would be interested to experiment with that, but I do not wish to spend so much money on failed tests. I have never had the same reaction twice.
I mean, if you do want to experiment on it, just saying it's no skin off my back. After all, it was you that dropped the small.
What did you call your rat earlier?
Louis?
Louis? Louis looks at you from within his cage, his glass cage. He gives you a scornful look of, you fucking bastard. Trying to sell me now? Trying to get rid of me? You prick.
Hey,
He
listen,
turns
I
his
slit
back
the
to
throat of
you.
a fucking goat. I'll sell you for fucking tip of a hat.
He puts his paw out. His paw is open. He doesn't seem to have the dexterity to close digits, but he puts his paw out. You're not sure what this
This
means.
is a sassy
He
little
doesn't
fucking
look at
rat.
I think it's better looking than you, Casper.
Did the rat just middle finger you?
No,
I tried to.
rats can't do that. You're just seeing things.
Oh, you touch my tololo.
Okay, yeah,
Maybe it
Louis,
turned into a
come back.
gerbil.
Goddamn gerbils.
They're everywhere.
You know what? Ben, you can keep a hold of him. Just don't kill him. I'll be back to collect him when I find out someone who can actually train him. Is that alright?
I suppose so. If he lives, he can be collected when you want him. I can't
If you want to
guarantee
drop him,
I
I'll leave it
won't.
up.
It's more of, if I have more experiments to perform and there are no volunteers, then it seems as if he was not changed as much as the others.
Let me just see, because he's technically... I want to see if I get a 1. Oh, I accidentally GM rolled that.
You'll know what you got?
No, I can see it myself. Yeah, it's
Okay.
3. So he can have up to 4 mutations, little Lily.
I don't think he'll
toughness
survive
is
long
1.
enough.
Yeah, you never know. I'm really curious to see what a rat actually has in stats now.
Same.
They are listed, so I can give you a Skaven's rat list. I'm not sure if they're the same, because this is a plague rat. Hang on, animals. No, I have got swarm rats. No, giant rats. There are so many different
Probably
types
not a
of
giant
rat in this. Well, hang on, no, because I don't think a giant rat is.
Where's the bestiary?
Yeah, so it can't be a giant rat, because giant rats have
No.
got 3 toughness, and 3 strength. Well, that's not 3; it should be 30.
Giant rats are what, like the size of your arm as well? Or size of
Yeah,
your
I think they're too big. So if it's under the normal rulebook or Old World Armory, it'd be under pets.
I'm gonna look at the familiars list because it might be at the familiars list.
I'm pretty sure under pets in Old World Armory, you'll find it. Is it livestock? It's got to be livestock. So 83.
Would I need to see if there's like a falcon.
There is.
There is.
There
Cool.
is, yeah.
There's also a monkey.
Good, very good.
There are several types of animals in this game.
Yeah, because that's how it goes. When I become a mage, I
All
want
the
my
rat-
familiar to be a falcon.
Monkey.
Oh, you found the rat?
Found the rat. Yeah, 1 second.
Monkey.
monkey
Why are
we
you
can
people
train.
not getting monkeys? Training them to
I don't
load
want a
guns.
monkey, I want a rat.
Rats can't.
I want a
Because I
rat
don't
that can
use
breathe
fire.
It was on the It was
I
in
want
realms
the
of
rat that
sorcery.
can breathe fire.
Oh my god, this. Are you thinking about the reloading, Gretchen?
Oh, God.
Yeah, do it with a bloody monkey.
On the top right. Rats
Oh my
and things.
god, yeah, it's got 1 toughness. 2, it should be fucking dead.
Oh dear.
Louis dead?
It's a named rat. It's fine.
If you
Oh,
want your
It doesn't work like that.
if
Oh,
you want your
fuck.
special named rat, you're gonna have to raise him from the dead. It seems.
Yeah,
Why did we have
all
to
these
look at
fucking
that?
rats are dead. We walked in,
God.
we looked at the warp stone, they all just fucking died.
Oh god, I want a hunting bird, but it's 80 gold.
So the mutations stand. They still get the mutations, but as they get mutated, they and die in a horrible, vicious,
Yep.
twisted way.
Yeah. You probably wanna invest in some weasels, ferrets, or squirrels.
Perhaps the one that breathes fire. Just before it dies, it kind of just looks at Bane and you all and just fires a little fireball that hits against the glass and cracks it, but then he dies.
I don't know how he's no ballistic skill to actually use it.
Well, so because he's in, even with 0 ballistics, he's not firing, it's in a cage, so no matter where he hits, it's going to hit glass.
Yeah, he can't miss the glass. He can't hit what he wants to hit anyway. So
Just
And-
fucking wraps around, just launches behind him. Whee! How the fuck did I do that? Where are
Say
we?
that to the night runners, actually. So,
fuck's sake.
after a bit of time passes as Bane experiments with the rats and you will watch and giggle as you see what happens to them, he does agree that if you're able to acquire an animal, he wouldn't be opposed to experimenting on an animal that you wish to train at one point. He does tell you that he's found that familiars are always better when you raise the animal themselves. You can make any animal into a familiar, but if you raise it yourself, you get a double connection, which he's always found his most valuable familiars are ones where they've been around since they were a chick.
Yeah, I think he mentioned that last time, didn't he?
Oh,
Okay.
I got this, the amount of crap I tell you guys, I can never keep it all in line.
It's fine.
There's gonna be layovers.
It's fine, dude.
When-
Don't want to learn.
I do want to wait behind when everyone else leaves, because I want to have a talk
so
with
much trade
Bane.
secrets.
Shush! It's not like my shouting was a cover or anything.
Baka.
Wanker.
Kawaii desu.
Oh god, no. Right, okay. Well then, I'll have to go. We're gonna have to go tell. We'll probably tell Humperdinck in the morning that we got the ball and it's here. You're investigating it now. You have to pay me back at least. I'll pay them back some of the help.
Out of character, I know about the Yellow Fang, but is there any library or anything
No.
in Nuln that could?
No,
Right? Yeah.
there is
Ah.
There is literally in the fluff, I should not have even mentioned it. So he wouldn't have actually said that. But because it's more fun to have a bit of fun with the lore, he did say it, knowing that you wouldn't have a clue what they're on about. They are a really, 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 really secret cult in Midland and in Reichland. Hang on,
so
no,
they're
no, no.
like-
Main strand
wait,
is
Yeah.
in the
Are you,
western.
saying, are you saying it's a Skaven gene stealer cult?
Basically.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Yellow Fang is a cult comprised of humans that worships the Horned Red.
Yes,
Ah.
yes, yes. Smartest people on planet, yes.
And their symbol is basically Clan Ashen without the hand holding the dagger.
Kind of.
And
It's a
it's yellow.
Skaven. It's a Skaven dagger. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's why when you first described it, I was like, "Shit, this is Clan Ashen." Bugger.
Yeah, that's what I thought at
Yeah,
first
no,
too.
it's
that was
it's without
my
the.
thought too.
I mean,
That's why when I
the
described
thing-
it, I was like, I think that's right, but there's something telling me that that's wrong. It's
I
like,
mean, the thing that was watching us definitely not Ashen Gutter runners. Definitely
No,
not.
definitely not. No.
No.
Yes.
Definitely.
So, as the experiments go on, did you guys want to spend more time here, or did you want to go off? You could try and see Humperdinck. It's not that late.
No,
It's probably around 10 o'clock by now. Oh, actually, did you leave? We'll say you left at 8. It is summer, so you would have left at 9. No, it probably is quite late now. Thinking about it, because you had to go, it was a very bright day. And a bright sunny day, you know, the sun can go down at 8, 9 o'clock. So, yeah, you'd probably be cutting it to go and see Humperdinck tonight. So, as you all bid adieu after
All but
performing
one.
your experiment, the last among you in the line, as you all walk through, closes the door and turns around as he plods back towards Spain.
I just say I forgot something. I'll catch you up.
Please
that I'm close.
please do not try to murder Bane.
I think you just stay at the back of the group, not telling them. And then as you're the last one through the door, you just shut the door and lock it. So they can't interfere.
But that
Bane. You meant apologies for my outburst. I think you know I think quite differently to most dwarves, but I do have to keep up appearances. Especially given if word got out of what I've done to assist you.
I am
You
very
mentioned-
much aware of what you've done, Master Dwarf. There are countless books that speak of my kind going to the dwarves for aid and being refused. It is well documented.
And did I refuse you aid?
No, but you did not give it freely either. There is a price for everything.
Is it not the same way with you humans?
I never said it was a bad thing, just notable.
You express an idea that, whilst publicly I had to admonish, it did pique my curiosity. How much of that wretched stuff do you have left?
Almost none. I have used up all but a small sample of what Humperdinck brought me.
If we could acquire some by the month's end, we could attempt an experiment. My expertise and your knowledge and resources.
I highly doubt that I will have any more coming to me anytime soon. and the chance of finding refined is all the slimmer. It is, after all, a forbidden material. There are only very few who are willing to procure it.
And yet, one night in the black market was all it took to procure some, albeit in a mixed state.
If you wish to try and acquire more from the one that sold you the items, by all means you may try, but the price will be exorbitant, as it is in general. I use Humperdinck because the Electus Countess provides him with other benefits that supplement the cost. As you have seen, is a very expensive material.
Yes, well.
And are you sure you wish to attempt something without learning more about it?
I mean, we have. But it's only like the 11th or 12th or something, isn't it, currently? Can't remember
At
what the
the
date is.
moment,
Yeah, it's
the
like the 12th.
is, yes, the 12th.
We have
Oh,
30
hang on a minute.
something.
Is it the 12th?
Yeah, because Black
yes, it
Powder
is the
Week
12th.
started yesterday. Yeah.
Yes, it is the 12th.
We have some 30 days to learn and to acquire some more. And I'm sure the knowledge of what happened, try to create a rune with it would be most valuable to you. Would you not rather it be someone skilled enough to possibly make it work?
I have only just learned that you can refine weird stone. It is a fascinating proposition to make a rune out of warp stone. But at the moment there is nothing backing it. I would imagine the first, the second, and the third attempts will all end in a resounding failure. And then we learn from that failure. Are you quite prepared for that?
There are many secrets, as you pointed out, that we have lost over the generations. It's entirely possible that we once knew how to. If I can recover any potentially lost knowledge, I am prepared. I was prepared when I made my initial pact with you, as I know most of my kind would see me skinned alive or worse.
I'm sure they would, if the records are anything to go by. Runesmiths have never been open to the idea of sharing with us anyway.
We have not, but as I said, I seek the lost knowledge. I told you that when we last met. So I have quite a different view on it, I'm more than willing to use it as my knowledge as a resource to potentially get me closer to recovering the lost secrets.
Then I would recommend capturing one who has those secrets and taking them. That is, at the moment, a lot faster than my efforts.
Agreed. Would you be able to make somewhere to house such an individual? So I believe that the inn may take some persuading, and the guards may not let me walk through the streets with one that looks like they may have that knowledge.
So Bane explains what he knows about runes. The size of the material that you put the rune on, and so on. This is common knowledge to you, just back and forth. He then tells you that how much power is in just a single fragment, a single flake of warpstone. He only normally deals in very small amounts, except from something that he does with the larger bits. So he theorizes that if you were to try and put a rune on a piece of warpstone, and his estimates for the size that you need are probably off by a bit. Like, his rune is too small. He's overestimated how small you can do it. So it'd actually have to be a bit bigger. He tells you that with a single mistake would be catastrophic. So he recommends not doing it anywhere near any inhabited area, and perhaps doing it far, far away, just in case it goes wrong, you see.
See, if you have such a place when we come across such an individual or stash, I'm sure we could work together on this. I should go rejoin my companions before they start asking questions that I don't want them to know the answers to. Just thought I would let you know that these experiments, you would have a willing partner in.
I will keep that in mind for the future, seeing as I would need to divulge far more than I am willing to now. We will see.
I'm sure I could repay in kind, but yes, we shall see. Good night, Master Wizard.
He gives you a small bow. Good night, Master Dwarf. He takes his glass of wine and leaves the laboratory as you head down to the entrance.
Part of me wants to see if there's any grommet I can snag. But no, I just leave. I don't want Bane to get mad at me.
You'd be
warp dust on you.
You'd be so disappointed with the amount that he's got. He's got like a needle head's worth, just enough to be able to experiment and test and to...
Yeah.
Well, a bit bigger than that. But anyway. So as you exit and you see your companions just down the street a little as your little dwarven legs shimmy along as the sky continues to light up with smaller fireworks now. Our camera zooms out. And that is where we end this episode off, as our group are heading back to the Three Crowns to get some rest. We'll see. Maybe in the next episode we'll end up back at the Dragon. With this party, you can never really tell. So, thank you very much for watching. I truly do hope you've enjoyed watching this episode as much as we've enjoyed playing it. So, take care, everyone, and as always, bye-bye for now.
Praise the ancestor gods.
Bye.
We have a sexy rat. No, he don't. He died.
Oh no.